Hi Simon! Just checking all the audio is working fine. It seems to be okay. Excellent, very cool. So the camera angle and the quality is a little bit different today because I, for one, would like to use my phone so I can actually listen into the stream at the same time. I'm not sure how it's going to work at the moment, but just bear with me. The stream at the same time. Okay, all right. Not sure how it's going to work. Just going to turn the volume off on that now, so now I can actually type as well if people need me to, which is good. All right, so this is a bit of a proactive thing because obviously Simon, you are Razordisc along with Jez. Nobody else is here yet, but that's fine. It takes a little while, but that's absolutely fine. Just wanted to show you really quickly then some of the bits I've been doing. Like I said, I'm not sure how well this camera's going to work with this, but excuse my grubby fingers as well. The quality's not going to be great. The focal point's not brilliant. I'll send you some nice snappy photos later. The green's good. Alright, so I'm going to... Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of excited now. I don't know which one to paint. So we've got... here we go. Let's go with the Razor because this is the least painted one so far. As you can see, it's mostly just purple, a little bit of blue in there as well. So I'm going to start building up on that, I think. Let's start with a base. So I've gone with a really generic blue-black by Acryl for your basing because it helps the neon to just really pop. And you may have noticed I haven't actually primed the bases. Now here's an interesting thing that I've noticed is when you wash this resin and when you use Acryl, it does a really good job of just sticking straight to the miniature. And to make sure that I did actually prime the miniature with a bit of airbrush primer with a hand brush. But it just goes to show how easily this paint goes on and sticks on. It also annoyingly shows you exactly where all the 3D print supports were that you were supposed to sweep by and pick up. But you know what, in this case, it's only a couple of them, and just looks a bit of debris on the pitch, so it's not too bad. Just getting my way in under there. Probably using the tiddliest brush in the world for this, but you know, here we are. I'm going to assume the music's not too overbearing. Actually, how is the music? Can you tell? Hey! Hey Terence! Thanks for joining! So it's only taken me 5 years to figure out Streamlabs. So the blue I mixed up for these, I'm good man, I'm good. The blue I mixed up for these actually is a bit of a weird hybrid mix of a whole bunch of stuff because I didn't actually have any blues that matched the brief that I got from Jez. But that's fine because I'm a professional, I can work this stuff out. I don't just wing it all the while, promise. So that is literally Acryl blue, Acryl dark purple. All I'm going to do is custom mix. So this is a wet palette, whereas I like to call them a slightly damp palette because it's just there to give some humidity to stop your paint from dying. Awesome, good to know the music levels are good and you can hear me over the top. So I'm going to start with the blue. It's quite vibrant at the moment. So you just like the purple in it, you start to get a good halfway mix there. Blue pigments tend to be quite weak. I know you paint yourself, Simon, so I'm kind of telling you what you already know, but what you tend to find is they are quite translucent paints to work with. So see, at this stage it's quite easy for me to just check. Yeah, that's looking good, I'll go with that. And a slightly lighter blue butt cheeks, because we all need slightly lighter blue butt cheeks. So there's a lot of armour on these guys as well, especially the Razors. Like, these guys are properly armoured up, and I love their little Toreador style capes that they've got. I haven't really got an utterly solid plan for the colour scheme on this, because Jez has left me with pretty free rein just to go with it and see what happens. So there are some of these areas that might change as we go, but it's pretty cool without sounding too pretentious. It's quite nice, the Mini, just to tell you what it wants painting, what colour. The only thing I have tried to keep the same is the colour schemes on the helmets. So there will be a green stripe down the centre of this, but the majority of it is still blue. Well, it just so happens, Simon, there's a service for that. I'm about to step into the weird and wonderful world of telling people how to slap paints around. But I'm aiming mostly at beginners, really. Okay, it's looking fairly good. I'm going to put a bit more blue in now. I'm just going to blend up from there. Oh, I keep picking on this guy's butt cheeks to start off with. It's just, you know, they're there. And they're all really pert. No worries. So I'm gonna confess something right now. Right, I don't really like blue. Some people have something that they really hate when it comes to painting. Blue is one of the ones that I'm not too sure how I managed to paint blue, but you know, here we are. That's a little awkward confession time, and actually just looking at some of the miniatures, and that blue doesn't match the other ones. Professional commission painting, guys. Was it a different blue? Did I use a different blue? I don't think I did. I think it's the same. I'm just going to stick with it. So it doesn't have to be super precise right now. What I'm doing is I'm just mapping out the colours. I'm just going to go from there, really. So I'm trying something new out for this stream. I'm going to be oh, actually that's quite nice, it does pop nice. I'm going to be plugging a good friend of mine's shop later, so there will be a chance for everyone to have a breather while I waffle on about how great his shop is, and that shop is Tabletop MK. Alright, let's get some olive flesh. This is olive flesh. Now, I'm sorry, but when I think of people with an olive complexion, the first thing I think of usually isn't Nosferatu, but it's a very useful highlighting colour that isn't white. What I tend to find white is it comes out a bit too clean. But what it allows me to do is I can take a spot here and I can just mix up a slightly more desaturated version of that base colour, which might come out a little bit better. because I think the highlight colour ends up looking a bit like an ultramarine blue as opposed to that blue that I've just painted. So I'm just gonna experiment now. That's better. That's a nicer blue. Right, so all of those highlights I've just done, I'm just gonna run over them real quick and just adjust. So for those of you who are completely new to Razordisc, it's loosely based. I'm going to say loosely based because you've put your own twist on it, and that needs to be recognised. But it is sort of based off an old film franchise from the 80s, I believe, that was called Rollerball. Now, I've been calling these guys rollerballers whenever I'm talking about what the hell is it I'm doing, right? So whenever I'm painting, someone goes, Matt, what the hell are you painting now? I say, well, do you remember the film Rollerball? And they were like, yes. And then I just tell them, well, imagine if Rollerball was injected with the lifeblood of 2000 AD and was made by thoroughly nice people who lived in Northampton. And there you go, that's Razordisc. It's a sport game, and you have teams of various crazy different characters. You might have seen last week. I was actually, was I doing it last week? Yeah, I was painting some last week as well. And I've got a few to show, but I'll leave them for a little while as we come back round. So, you know, I've actually got the Facebook page up as well, so I think with my streaming software I can actually put a web page up so you guys can see. Salute to the Jugger! I completely forgot that film existed, but that's another awesome film. I still can't believe that actually that's a kind of a recognised sport, if I remember correctly. That's mad. I can't believe it's kind of a thing. And you know for a fact it started off with some LARPers. You know, they looked at it and they thought, oh, I know, right, we're not bashing orcs' heads in at the moment, let's play Jugger. And that's just how all that madness would have started. You just know it, right? Because that's exactly what they're like. I don't know if anybody else here has ever had to muck about with the shenanigans that LARPers muck about with, but that's 100% how it came to be. I know it is. I'm just going back and forth with these a little bit because obviously I've just found a really nice blue that I like and I want them to match, so I'm going to just nip it over here. That's why, even though I tend to paint one miniature at a time, because these are so different, putting that extra character in, you know, it really does pay dividends. But at the same time, it's always good to just have them on hand in case you come up with something and you're like, oh, I like that can work on everything. And it does. Okay, I'm liking that. I don't know. I really do need to sort out a better camera setup. I mean, I'd show you a picture, but at the moment I can't because my camera is hanging off my lamp. I'll take a photo and put it up on my Facebook page. I've been to a couple of very ropey LARPs. One of them was called Gunfest, and it was run by basically a bunch of the crew members from other LARP groups, and it did not take itself seriously in any way, shape or form, which was glorious. Yeah, I was thinking the DSLR route, but the problem I've got is everyone that I've looked at requires a 4K capture card as well. But the issue with 4K capture cards is I'm doing this on pocket money. However, last week I did use my Pixel and it was really, really good. Like actually, it was pretty good. As soon as I figured out how to turn off autofocus and set my exposure, the actual stream quality was very good last week. I think what it is because obviously I'm doing this in the boat in Terence. I know it's been a while since you've been over, but you know how pokey the boat is. I might have to put a bar on the ceiling, I think, and use that to clamp things onto. And also, we'll work it out. It'll come to me. I'll have a good look into it, Terence. It's definitely going to be something that's going to come from this. I mean, ideally what I would like to do is be able to teach people from the comfort of their own living rooms without me ever having to get their germs. So having a nice live streaming setup, I think, is going to be definitely the way forwards. I looked at frames. I don't think they're a bad idea. I'm going to have to try and find. I'll tell you, right. So I saw something and I thought, I like that. That's a really good idea. And for the life of me, I can't remember who makes it. But essentially, it's a box frame with two clamps, and it clamps one side of your table and the other side of the table, and sort of goes from there. And then you can basically just bolt whatever you want onto that frame. But I'm thinking if it comes down from the ceiling, this won't happen, so I won't rock the camera so much. Yeah, I probably could, Terence, but I think the issue we're both running into there is I have very little inclination to actually do that. So I'm not really helping myself in that respect. Yeah, the desk wobble is real, especially when you're doing stuff like this, because my elbows go everywhere, right? It's like, bleh. And to be honest, this is how you're supposed to sit at your desk. It's with your elbows on the table, so you can cup your hands like this with your miniature. But the problem I'm running into right now is, no one can see what I'm doing. So it'll be a frame that goes up into the ceiling, I think, and then I can run arms off that. And that just seems to be I think that might just be the best way to do it. Painting all the butt cheeks. Simon, why are the butt cheeks and the codpieces so pronounced in your game? I think that's all the blues. Yeah, that was kind of where I wanted it to be before. Just talking about why all of your lovely miniatures have such pert behind, sir. Case in point. Something for the dad sculpting. Hello, Tom. Professional sports persons. Ah, I see. Athletes. Yep, athletes, like the gladiators, but athletes. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah, 100% with you. Okay, so from now on I'll have to let people know that I'm painting professional sports persons. So I decided at the start, I'm just going to paint one thing. No, that's gone out the window already. I'm just going to paint everything. I'm going to paint all the things. It's going straight in there with the purple. Interesting fact, purple and green is the colours of women's suffrage. Oh yeah, that's the thing you know now. Woo, suffrage! Hi, Nat. I think we should get that on a t-shirt. Just want to say, guys, I think this is the most amount of viewers I've had in one spot at one time since I started doing this. That's lovely. Spinning around miniatures. Would you believe I actually have a painting handle? I've used it twice. Well, you better, Tom, because now you said it. It's you. It's your responsibility. You're now the social media management team. It's you on your own. Off you go. Have any of you guys got a piece of kit that you bought for your hobby that you've used like twice and then you've just gone, no, I don't like it? I'm in no position to discuss terms here. You caught me at a vulnerable moment. Okay, well, it's definitely blue. I've definitely painted some blue on this, guys. I just need to figure out if I like it. Okay, let's have a look. Yes, the grey pile of doom is real. I've been very good. I've spent most of my time painting other people's stuff, so actually my grey pile hasn't really gotten that big. I've got the best part of a 1,000-point Soul Blight army to finish painting. So far I've managed to paint out of that Vengorian host, Laukavai and some bats. And there's about 8 skeletons left to build that I really can't. I just can't. They're so fiddly. I can't wait for the new boxes to come out. They've got easy to build everything in them. There's some bits of tools. For me, my painting handle, which my stepdad lovingly 3D printed for me. Top bloke. Oddly enough, also my airbrush. My airbrush is a lot of work to set up because I only live in a tiny boat. I've got to drag the extractor fan outside, run an extension cord, then take the compressor through, then sort the brush out, and then inevitably clean the brush, and then use it, and then clean it, and then use it, and then clean it. If the project is big enough, it's 90% airbrush. But I'm doing a lot of small stuff at the moment, and I don't mind that because it means I don't need to set that monster up. Let's do some green. So this is Pro Acryl green. Tom, Necrons are only 2 colours. Gunmetal grey, green. So which half have you painted? Have you done the green first or the gunmetal grey first? I have access to a 3D printer, but it's my stepdad's, so I tend to just send him stuff if I desperately need it printing. Then I'll pay for the resin. It's actually not that bright. I think it's just the exposure on my camera, because like I said, it's a little jank. It's an old C920 webcam. It's not terrible. Just need to make sure I don't get my head in the way or my hands in the way. Yay, being left-handed. Which bits do I paint green? So he's going to have big old gold chains when he's done, so that's fine. I think he's green trim on his jacket as well as some grey. Brushes need to be replaced. Seven viewers! And only 4 people talking. If you just tuned in, say hi. If you haven't, that's fine too. Said hi, that is, not tuned in, obviously, because if you haven't tuned in, you're not going to say hi anyway. No worries, Terence. Thank you so much for joining in and saying hi. When it's muted, it's worth noting that me live streaming actually is all Terence's fault. When he was my neighbour and we lived in Northampton Marina, he introduced me to the wonderful world of Twitch, and I gave it a try and it didn't work for me. But the bug has not left me, as you can see, because I'm still attempting to live stream. Checking the weather, make sure I don't freeze. So, did I read correctly, Tom, that you're off to Nottingham to go and play in some ridiculous games? Is that correct? I'm never setting a jump scare alert up on my stream, Tom, because you'll just end up donating money to make me jump, and I'm already doing other people's stuff for them. That would be a terrible idea. I spent green stripes down his legs, and I hate it. I went too far. Is it me? Am I the extra streamer? I don't know. A tale of four gamers. My God, that brings back some heady Games Workshop memories. Well, I know you're gonna have a blast, mate. That's very cool. And actually, that reminds me, you're probably here because I said I would do a thing. Hands up, who would like to see Tom's work? Who would like to see Tom's work? Let me see if I can find it. That's the music. Yes, yes, I know you have to see it every day. You want to see your own work, Tom? Okay, let me see what I can find. Where did I put it? I did put it here somewhere. Oh, just really quickly, because it might be bundled all in with this stuff. Here we go. And I'm back to painting. There we go. Quick sponsor slot. Guns to plug MK. Tabletop MK, brilliant. And the timing of the slideshow is bad. And just like that, the horrible green is gone. So I've got a bit of an issue. I've done all the shoulder armour in green, but if I do that with this guy, he's definitely going to look like a street judge. I mean, look at him already. I mean, and that's no accident, is it, Simon? That's definitely no accident, because, and I'm terrible with names. I'm surprised to remember your name said Mr. Razordisc. Simon actually collaborated on Razordisc with a 2000 AD artist, which is super cool. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what's in the browser. Let me just do that now. Let's not do that, because that doesn't work the way I wanted it to. In fact, we'll just hover over the screen, go away. Yeah, let's delete the browser source for a second. Let's have a look at Alright, let's have a quick look over here. So this is the Razordisc website, and I love it. Charles Serrano, that's his name, right? Okay. Oh, I see, he's been working for Mantic as well. Excellent. Well, we're just going to take a little stop for a minute, and I'm going to have a look at some of your awesome stuff. So this is going to be a new team that's coming up, is that right, Simon? Because they look great. They look absolutely tip top. Just some incredible stuff on here. I love the imagery. It's just absolutely nuts. Look at that. Look. So you got the bulwarks and you've got the riders as well. It's just, there's nothing to not love about a 9-foot tall slab of genetically engineered kick-ass. There we go, some more of the iCore stuff. Oh, it's just brilliant. I mean, look at the legs. Look at them. I love it. I absolutely love it. The detail and everything else that's packed into these is just incredible. It's so good. Oh, it's my stuff. I painted that for you guys. Hey, it exists. It's terrible photos though. I'm going to need to do better than that. I had a look at the boards when I went over to see Jez, and I've got to say it looks like a hell of a lot of fun to play as well. It looks really, really cool. Oh, it's 3D, that's why. Check that out. Oh. Big stompy chaps. Merry Christmas. So, that's just a quick look at the Razordisc website. Do have a look at it, because the stuff's just grand. It's just really, really nice stuff. Gotta love them stompy robots. I have a Brutalis Dreadnought from Warhammer 40,000 that my wife got me, that I'm seriously considering doing something ABC Warriors with, because I think that would be fun. By fun I mean daft. So I'm probably going to do it. Right, back to the razor. So the three colours we're using for this is our bluey purpley colour here, and there's a bright neutral grey as well I've been using for, oh, it's already out, I've been using it earlier as well. So I'm going to pop some of that down, and the green. Again, I'm going to keep using the olive flesh. Yeah, the detail's interesting. In fact, there is so much detail at this scale. There's a lot of it you just kind of have to miss. I'm certain that if I didn't do the stupid thing and decide to do all of these non-metallic, I could have used washes and it would look absolutely gorgeous. But I've made work for I've created work for myself, Tom. That's not a clever thing for me to do, is it? And so yeah, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. But man, man, there is so much detail. You think you've got it all, and then you spot something else, and then something else. I mean, this is the Borg, right? And she's a big chunky lady, and you've seen this probably on my Facebook page far too much. But it's like up here you've got fibre bundles where the cyborg parts are, and then you've got the spine down the middle, and that's got two ridges on each spine, and then you've got things like pistons and bearings and little power nodes and like wheels on wheels. There's wheels on tracks on this thing. It's crazy mad. But then the thing that really boggled my mind when I was painting them was, as you flip around to up here, right up in this corner, you'll see when you get them inevitably, Tom, because I'm going to make you buy some. Up in here, there's like this wonderful scale mail kind of look to it. It's crazy. So yeah, I mean, and you're right. If I'd have actually used contrast paints, I probably would have made it a little bit easier for myself. But what I tend to find with those is you kind of get stuck in a way, and it turns out to be less fun than you think it is. On the biker as well, I love them. I think they're absolutely beautiful models. They're really cool. No, I'm not just saying that because the guy who helped bring them to life is in the stream with us. I actually really mean it. They're just great. And this is the Mutt. The Mutt's full of character. He's brilliant. You know, there's nothing here not to love. Really, it's just great. Alright, so which bits are going to be great? Let's have a look. What should we do grey in this guy? The other guys have got grey boots, so let's start off with some grey boots just to get the ball rolling. Or the disc spinning in this case. That brush is too small for this. What am I doing? Let's use a slightly larger brush. So that colour looks insanely bright, and that's because it is, not gonna lie. It's nearly white, but it's just the right amount of grey in it that I can actually then wash back down with some other colours and really just make everything pop. See, that's what I like to hear. I'm all about world building. That is amazing. Something you can really get lost in is just, you know, it's just glorious. I don't know what that snoring noise was. That was snoring. My dog is asleep. I just want to talk to you guys about a phenomena with mini painting, and it's tricky because whenever this particular phenomenon arrives, and it's usually without warning, you end up with something that's known as the arse phase. Alright, does anyone know what the arse phase is? Oh Christ. Well, there's a good example. I just shot some pigeon poo across the floor here because my brush got stuck. So the arse phase is when you start painting something and you dislike it, you absolutely hate it. There's no two ways around it. Every single one of the miniatures that I've painted in the past 10 years, 20 years, let's be honest, ever, like 30 years worth of painting, right, has gone through some element of arse phase. And right now I've painted these boots and they are white, and it's given me Lemmy and Motorhead Tour 2002 vibes, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. However, he did look terrible in them. But I'm sticking with it because you push through the arse phase and what you end up with is gorgeous, gorgeous work. So if you ever feel like you're encountering the arse phase, just remember what Matt at AR Mini says, and that's just keep going. Just don't let them get you down, and all will be right with well. Oh God, I made a terrible mess now. Oh no, accidentally wet blending. Alright, I'm going to stop and leave that alone for a minute. Professional painter. Cross-eyed. Everyone goes through it. Like I said, it's a well documented phenomena. You know, you get to a point and you've done a bunch of painting for a bunch of hours and you're like, man, this looks like ass. What am I doing? What is life? That kind of a thing, right? But it's okay because you can always just carry on. You know, and if you feel like you're doing too much, stop, go take a breather, come back to it later. You know, it all helps. You've just got to find the little rhythm that works for you when it comes to painting. So you're doing deathcore and you're going to be using 40k and kill team, I get that. But then you could use them for Trench Crusade as well. I mean, they are grimdark. In fact, they're quite possibly, you know, the most grimdark you can be without actually nipping out and committing genocide yourself. But it seems like an interesting mix, Tom. I can't wait to see how you work that out. Still pretty cool though. Painting myself into a corner. That needs to dry. So mixing up some of our olive flesh that we've been using to highlight everything with, because if you highlight everything with the same mixed colour in there, it all sort of oddly ties in. And I like using olive flesh instead of white because it's not as clean. No worries, Simon, I will keep on grinding, buddy. I kind of like that colour scheme though. One moment, chaps, I just need to stop for a quick drink. Bit of a grunt. Hi, Chris. Woo. Right. Good to see you, man. I'm going to be online probably for another 10 minutes tops, I think, because I'm going to have to go and sort the wee beastie out. But I thought I'd show you exactly how far we've gotten. Obviously, we've got the bike is done. I'm trying not to handle it too much because every time I do a bit, the black seems to like to run away off the base. But she's there. You can't really tell because the light in the screen's blowing it out. But that's a job for another day. Borg's very nearly done now. We've got the glow base down, so you know, just so you know that she's nearly done. It's pretty cool. Been focusing on the Razor today with his fancy boots, trying really hard not to make him look exactly like a Mega City Judge, which he already does. We've got the Mutt. Oh, so close to the finish line of these guys. We're getting real close to finishing this job off. And the colours are starting to come on now. But this team's definitely giving me Street Judge vibes now. I can't get away from it. So yeah, we're getting there. They're starting to look like a full team. And then you've got this guy, the Bulwark, who's known as Captain Slab. I love him. I absolutely love him. Actually, do you know what? If you don't mind, chaps, it's definitely the blue and the green and the gold as well, and the fact that I've non-metallic metallics it like a lunatic. I'm feeling a bit frazzled, but this has been great. Everything has worked, and that's brilliant. And there's music playing, which is brilliant, and I love it. It's just good fun. I just want to say a massive thank you so much, guys, for just joining in and sitting with me while I paint stuff today. It really does actually help more than you think. It's not so much about the YouTube views or anything else. It's more about the fact that I can paint easier if I know someone's in a chat with me and watching what I'm doing. I know it sounds weird. It's definitely a neurodiverse thing, and I'm grateful. So cheers, guys. Is there another button? Just another quick clap. I'm just going to do another one because stuff it. I'm just going to do it. I'm doing it, guys. So. Okay, guys, I've been me, and we'll see you same time next week. Maybe a little bit earlier. Now I've got the knack of it, I think I might do this.